Hello guys, my name is John Michael Reyes. I've heard that. And this is the tutorial for the chapter 4 activities and other stuff. And as you can see, we're in the chapter 4, the network access. Then to support our communication, the OSI model divides the functions of the data network into layers. Each layer works with the layer above the below the transmit data. Two layers are the OSI model are so quickly tied according to the TCP IP model. They are one layer. The two layer are the data link layer and the physical layer. The one that sending device its role and the data is other stuff. And we are just gonna focus first on the network access. The network access is this chapter begins with the general functions and the physical layer and the standards and the protocols that manage the transmission of data, functions of the data link layer, and the protocols associated with it. So let's proceed. Oh shit. And hello guys, we are back from the wait, let me close the doors first. Sorry for that. Then I'm back again on the chapter 4 activity or the tutorial for chapter 4. Then as you can see, we are here on the physical layer terminologies, and it is somewhat a meaning and description of the chosen words and other stuff. Then first, let me tell you that there are so many other, or there are always some let me say the context clues in order to get it right. So first of all, media that uses pattern of microwaves to represent bits. We all know that the one that uses microwaves is somewhat a wireless, because wireless gives or proceeds some data in order to have a data communication, and it has a microwave patterns. Then capacity of medium to data, then that would be I think that would be a throughput. Throughput is to carry a medium of data. Then the fiber optic would be a media that uses pattern of light, because there are two types of fiber optics, and I'll discuss that later. Oh shit, my coffee. Then measured the transfer of bits across, then that would be a bandwidth. Oh, first, wait. Let me think of the throughput and the bandwidth, because those two are primarily similar, I think. Then let's go for because bandwidth I think is for data and the throughput would be for bits. Then copper for the electrical pulses. Then let's check, and as you can see, I'm correct with that bandwidth and throughput confusion, because please always try to remember that bandwidth is for data and throughput is for bits. Then that's all. Then let's continue to proceed to another video or another one activity. Oh shit. Fuck. And hello guys, sorry for that. Then we are back, and this is one of the major part of the network access, the copper media. Then as you can see, there are UTP, STP, and the coaxial. Then there are different types of cables, as you can see. Then the UTP or unshielded twisted pair cable is somewhat just a part. The parts of UTP is the outer jacket, as you can see in here. The outer jacket then protects the copper wire from physical damage. Then twisted pair protects the signal from interference or the other stuff. Then color coded plastic insulation, electrical isolation wires from each other and identify each pairs. Then UTP or unshielded twisted pairs cabling is the most common networking media. Always remember that UTP is the most common networking media, and you can see that also on the video that I'm gonna upload later, the physical components of this one. Then STP or the shielded twisted pair cable. STP or shielded twisted pair provides better noise protection than UTP cabling. However, compared to UTP cable, STP cable is significantly more expensive and difficult to install like UTP cable, STP used an RJ45 connectors. So I think there's no STP in our physical, but I think it's just a UTP RJ45. But still, always remember that STP is more efficient and more expensive than a UTP. Then the parts of a STP is jacket, then the braided or foil shield, then the foil shield, then the twisted fair, as you can see in here. Then, excuse me. Then the coaxial cable, as you can see, these are the parts: the outer jacket, braided copper shielding, the plastic insulation, and copper conductors. Coaxial cable, or coax for short, get its name from the fact that there are two conductors that share the same axis as shown in the figure, as you can see in here, same axis. Then these are wireless installations and cable internet installations. Then next, copper media safety. Copper media safety is there are three types of copper media, respectively to fire and electrical hazard. And as you can see in here, separation of data and electrical power, cabling must comply with safety codes, because we always need to have a safety codes in every different way that we do in our cabling systems and other stuff. Simply in my computer or my PC in here, the desktop, in my desktop, I have a good cabling because I don't want a messy cables. In order to do that, then cables must be connected correctly, and as you can see in the back of my PC, it is already connected because all of my equipments or peripherals are all in active mode. Then installation must be inspected for damage. Yes, because everyone should have a reviews and other stuff. Then equipment must be grounded correctly, because just like the lights turn on and off, then other stuff, then in PCs the on and off, then just like that. Then activity, these are the activity of the chapter 4, the copper media characteristics. Then as you can see in here, attached antennas to wireless devices can be bundled with a fiber optic cabling for two-way data transmission. Then that would be a UTP. Then counters EMI and RFI, that would be shielded. Then most common type of network, that would be a most common type of UTP. Then BNC and Delta, that would be coaxial. Then let's check. Oh, sorry for that, this one is STP because of the fiber optic coaxial. And that's all for this activity. Sorry for that. Then let's go. And guys, we're back on the we're back on the one of the major parts of the network access is the type of media, the single mode and the multi-mode. Then first is the single mode. Single mode consists of very small cores and uses expensive lasers technology to send single ray of light, as shown in the popular in the long distance situation and spanning hundreds of kilometers, such as those required in long haul telephony and other stuff. Then the multimode is consist of a larger core and use LED emitters to send light pulses, specifically light from an LED, and enters the multimode fiber and different angles. Then as you can see in here, this is the single mode, produce single light straight path for light. Then glass cores and other stuff. Single mode has small cores, less dispersion, suited for long distance, then use lasers and other stuff. Then the multi-mode is used for larger core than single mode cable, then allows greater dispersion, use LED and other stuff. Then that is somewhat simple to have or summarize. Then fiber optic connectors is somewhat fiber optic or straight tip. Then SC or subscriber connectors, then duplex multimode LC connectors, then lucent connectors and other stuff. Then these are the cords and other stuff. You can always see that in here. Then testing fiber cables, we always need to test about the misalignment, end gaps, and end finish, because end gaps not complete, then misalignment are not precisely aligned, then end finish are media ends are not well polished and dirt is present on the termination. So fiber versus copper, as you can see in here, fiber can UTP cabling is 10 to 10 GB, then the fiber is 10 MB to 100 GB. Then so you can see the difference is so pretty damn high. Then let's proceed to another one. Then so you can see this is the activity. Then can help data travel approximately 2 kilometers, so it would be multi-mode. Single mode can travel into 100 of kilometers, not just a kilometer but 100 of kilometers. Then uses light emitting diode, that would be LED, so it would be multi-mode. Then use a single stream, that would be single mode. Then long distance telephony cable, then that would be a single mode. Then can travel approximately just like that 100 kilometers, 100 kilometers, that would be a single mode. Then used within a campus, that would be a multi-mode. Then as you can see, it is all correct. Then I think let's proceed to another activity. And we are back, guys. Then this is the chapter 4 frame fields. This is one of the major thing in the network access, because as you can see, from frame starts and stop indicator, then addressing, type, control, then data, and error detection, and frame stops. That is just the in the headers there would be this one, and for the trailers there would be error detection and frame stop. Always check that. Then CRC or cyclic redundancy check, or FCS or frame check sequence. Then there's an activity, then let's try to answer it. Then first is pocket our data. The data would be here, I think. Then the data is here. Then header and trailer, then frame start, then error detection, then frame stop. Then in order to do first would be addressing, then type, then control. Let's check. Then as you can see, I've just saw it one time, then I've already know what it is because it is somewhat easy to get. Then the two is contains IP header, transport layer PDU, that would be data, and identifies the layer 3 controlled by LLC, that would be type. Then marks the end of the frame stop, then identifies source addressing, then specifies the special flow control, then it would be controlled. Then as you can see, it is so easy, guys. And that's all for chapter 4, I think. Then goodbye.